everyone, my name is Zach Tellender. I'm a weightlifting coach, used to be a competitive weightlifting athlete, and today I'm going to be looking at the 2021 CrossFit Games Event 12, which is the men's snatch event. So these CrossFitters, they've done a whole week of crazy events, whether it be gymnastics or long distance running, swimming, whatever it is. They've done a lot, and now they're going in and trying to do a pretty difficult, accurate maneuver. The snatches from the floor with a barbell from the floor to overhead in one smooth motion without stopping anywhere. And you can catch it in a squat, which everyone in this, I'm assuming, will do so. So yeah, let's get into it, and I'm gonna critique some of their technique, maybe praise a decent amount of it. I think that CrossFit technique for the snatch and the clean and jerk has gotten a lot better. The main difference is just training time. These guys don't train to optimize their weightlifting performance because there's just too much other shit that they have to do. So yeah, let's just get into it and see where it goes. All right, so if this is anything like the women's event, which I'm sure it is, basically you have 20 seconds to lift the barbell with whatever weight that is. You don't get to choose the weight. The weight goes up, I believe, 10 pounds. It's not kilos in CrossFit. They do everything in pounds. It goes up 10 pounds to a certain point, and then it goes up by 5 pounds. And then at a certain point, they get 30 seconds of rest. So in that window, 20 seconds or 30 seconds, they have as many attempts as they want. It's actually a really cool rule. But if you watch the last video, I said it's highly unlikely that you miss a maximal snatch attempt, like an actual max, and then come back within 20 seconds or 30 seconds and try to hit it again. So it looks like, I think the bar starts at 260 pounds, which is just under 120 kilos. All right, so right away, off of the floor, you can see both of his knees are facing forward, and what I would tell him to do is pull his knees apart. When your knees are forward like that, it really makes your hips kind of either shoot up or stay back or even shoot backwards, which makes it very difficult to turn around. So for him, what I would say is pull your knees apart as you start that first pull, and that can keep your hips down and in line. They won't swoop back or they won't shoot up. Definitely a good cue to think about. So we'll go frame by frame here, and I think he actually makes contact a little bit low, it looks like. But as he makes contact, guys, look at his heels. They're completely off of the floor. I said this in the previous video, but you want to think about, or you want to look at what happens when the bar is touching you, right? When you make contact with the hips, what are your feet doing? Are they flat? Because if they are flat, then you can deliver full force, full pressure into the floor. If they're not flat, like this gentleman right here, you're missing out on potential force. Two guys at the same time going. This is just a really cool setup. I said it in the previous video, but like, oh wow, I really like this guy on the left, or on the right. This guy, Andre Houdet. I'm guessing French or French Canadian. I really like his technique right now. Yeah, okay. I kind of paused it at the exact right time. Look at his catch position. I made a video about this. The head positioning in the snatch, it's crucial. Definitely check that video out. But look at his head. It's kind of almost, his chin is pulled down and his eyes are forward. A lot of times if you get used to snatching with your chin up like this, you don't allow yourself it becomes a little bit more inconsistent when you get to heavier weights. When you pull your chin down and your head down like this, not crazy, it doesn't have to be like this, but enough to where you're looking forward like that, you give yourself a much better chance of stacking the bar over more musculature over the mid back and upper back. So Andre Houdet, that's my guy right now. I've only seen 3, but Royce Dunn, I know he's a super strong dude and he used to train with Rich Froning. Good technique. Both decent technique. Hard to say, the bar's pretty light for some of these guys. Let's see here. I don't know what the name of these dudes. Oh, Scott Panchik, a veteran. I talked about him in the clean video. Check that out. The clean video. That dude's a fighter. Okay. All right. So again, these are just simple fixes. Guy's definitely strong. So his feet are in a very narrow spot here for reasons unknown. And he's very hinged over, right? His back is almost rounded here. What this shows is that there isn't much quad activation here. There isn't much use of the front of the leg. This is almost like a deadlift position for the guy. And I talked about this in the women's snatch event review that I did. But a lot of times CrossFitters, they get into this position where they're kind of just like deadlifting with wide arms and then extending really fast. And that can get you, pretty far. It got this guy to the CrossFit Games. But, there's a lot to be fixed here. His start position needs a lot of work. And I mean, look at this. His armpits are basically touching his knees. And his back is very round. This is not a powerful position at all to be trying to lift from. So as you guys can see, he doesn't pull his knees apart too much here. And I'm just guessing that his heels are going to come off when he makes contact. Yeah, a little bit. A lot of times these people who get into this deadlift position, you're going to see a substantial arm bend to get the bar into the hip. Now that actually works because it allows your timing is a lot better, right? So narrow grip, it makes it hard to get the bar into that hip position. But when you bend your arms, you get it into the hip and you get it in there on time where your feet are pretty flat. His actually aren't, his feet are decently flat here, but he's, pulling the bar into that position. It's got a long way for the bar to go to get settled and catch. Another thing too, if he stands a little bit wider with his feet and he learns how to squat a little bit wider in the catch position, this will be a much more accurate lift.
Focused on what he's supposed to do.
Yeah, so Noah Olson, he's a pretty decent lifter. He's obviously one of the more famous CrossFitters. There's just a couple things, man, that he always does that I would definitely try to fix. His focus isn't weightlifting. None of these guys, their focuses are weightlifting specifically or primarily. Because, if you think about it, being exceptionally good in the snatch and exceptionally good in the clean and jerk, is it worth that much? Or is it okay to kind of just be within the pack? But, you don't want to lose these events. The difference between the guys who just got out at 260 pounds and the guys who keep moving on is pretty big points-wise. And I don't think you're going to see any of those guys that missed those snatches in the first weight. You're not going to see them in the podium. So, it might be valuable. So let's look at Noah real quick. Yeah, he really just, everything goes back with him. Everything. He takes his shoulders, he throws them backward. You see he's going to jump back too. Big jump back. And it's tough, right? He extends so hard backwards that watch his hips here. They basically have to fall vertically and then fall backwards. Vertically and then boom, they got to go back. So this is an inaccurate snatch all around for Noah. He's got to have this crazy little walkout to make it. But first attempt, nerves are done. I know this dude on the right is fantastic. All right, Cole Sager definitely needs work. Let's see if he can hit this second one.
Lajeros in 9th place overall coming into the event. Second attempt for Sager. And Sager
It's not even close. So that's pretty rough technique-wise. And again, guys, I'm just being honest. I'm not saying these are bad athletes. These are things they can work on. Or not. Fuck me, what do I know? His start position, all this stuff, it's very wacky. He tries to yank the barbell off the floor. It's one of these things where it's just not enough training, not enough technique work on this very technical movement. See how he yanks this bar? Boom! You want more of, at least in the snatch, you want more of a progressive pull off of the floor. His hips really shoot up high. And then if we look at this position, this is just too far over the bar. Knees are almost completely extended. This is not a strong position. And then also he has that kind of deadlift start position, and his grip is so narrow that he's really bending the arms. Look at that. really bending his arms to get it into the hip. And then as he makes contact, that arm bend goes away. So he's got really rough technique. He wasn't even close on that. You know, it's something that, I don't know, maybe he has an injury or something like that, but he definitely, out of the group so far, could use the most work. What I would do with him is totally fix his start, set up his system to start with the bar off the floor. I'd probably adjust his grip, adjust his feet positioning, tell him to pull his knees out to the side. I'd have him, you know, practice endlessly from the hang position, just lifting the bar off the floor. I'd have him do just pulls to the knee. I'd have him do a lot of stuff.
See if he corrects it on the second one. Travis Mayer will miss his first attempt. Noah Olsen will miss
Yeah,
his
it's just
as
the
well.
same thing with Noah here.
Noah Olsen.
It's really just a lot of in and out movement. Really just pulls the shoulders back hard. Yeah, he's not going to have enough. I like Noah. He's a good guy. One time I did a CrossFit workout at his dad's gym. Met his dad. So we got our guy on the left here. I've seen him snatch big before. It's just so solid. Bjorgvin Carl Gudmundsson. I like this dude's technique. If it's anything like his clean technique in the video that I've done before. Yes! That's solid. You know, the way that he changes speeds after he passes the knee, his catch position. Look at the speed change here. Boom! Chin down in the catch. It's awesome. All right, so Fikowski, he's liked a few of my Instagrams. I think he likes what I do because I'm a tall dude. I think his technique is pretty good. Yeah, loud feet too. Very smooth. I think he's going to go pretty far in this. All right, so mullet guy, Medeiros. I've seen him before. He worked with like Matt Fraser. The thing about the mullet is, it's like, yeah, I know it's like the thing now to do because it was like kind of ironic at first, and now like a bunch of TikTokers have made it famous. Like my thing is this: if you're gonna have a mullet, like you gotta fully commit to that lifestyle, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like you kind of have to like. You got to get in arguments with your little sister. You have to drive a Trans Am. You have to probably smoke Marlboro Reds. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't just be a nice CrossFitter, dude. I've heard him in an interview. He said like frick and stuff. Like, sorry, man. I love your hair, but it's not fitting. You gotta make Wonder Bread peanut butter only sandwiches. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've got to consume a lot of crystal light. Your mattress has to be on the floor, and you have to have posters of babes in your room. Do you guys get what I'm getting at here? The mullet lifestyle, it looks amazing, don't get me wrong, but it's just not fitting, you know? These guys are too nice. Snatch looks great, though. So, yeah. Catch position here. His chin is up. Watch, he'll try it again. That time he actually had it in the right spot. He pulled enough, his chin was down, and then he passed through on the bar. That second attempt was close. Guy on the left is some of the best technique I've seen so far. Oh my God. Both super strong dudes. Uh-oh.
The lift. He just had those elbows buckle at the bottom.
Oh!
Will move on.
That's tough to do. It's basically a 125 kilo double. 275 pounds is 125. That's a double that he just did. Medeiros on the right. I want you guys to look at his contact. You know, really just straight up and down. Very, very solid. But he does make contact a little low. We'll talk more about that, I think. I mean, obviously he's going to get more attempts, so. Bjorgvin Carl Gudmundsson, man. Just solid. Solid technique. You never know with these guys, you know? Like, I know some CrossFit regional athletes who are now snatching upwards of 150. One of them just snatched 160, like, and this is kilos, by the way. Fikowski. Whoa, whoa! Here comes our mullet madness guy.
secured.
I would love it if he just pulled out a pack of cigs, you know? It's very solid. Good timing.
It is looking better as this event goes on.
Nothing of issue there.
Let's take one more look at what Pat.
All right, yeah, they have a replay here.
So Vellner,
Watch his elbows. Let's see if by the...
his arms are a little shaky at the bottom position.
See, what's interesting is, like, they would call that a press. It's an ugly lift, right? But, like, the elbows just kind of twinge a little bit. You know what I mean? I guess the left elbow buckled pretty hard, but I don't know. You know, that's another video. I don't want to get into a rant. Obviously, in CrossFit, totally legal. But it's not like we're seeing dog shit technique. You know, everyone's like, this is, weightlifting is separated from CrossFit because of the press out and because our technique is that much better. It's like, well, you know, some of these guys have pretty damn good technique. They just don't train hard in weightlifting because they literally can't. All right, look at this. They're both moving in sync. Oh, man, okay. Look at that. Do you guys see how his chin being pulled down like that? That was a make or break part of his lift. If he catches like this, if he does not train by pulling down like this, he misses that lift. He just gave himself so much more room to catch this bar, to lift this bar. Clap every syllable. Like, that's just crazy. Look, like, this is just a deadlift, a fast deadlift off of the hips. Look at how high he gets this bar. He gives it a big yank. Boom. Look on contact where his heels are, right? Jeffrey Adler, I think is his name. His heels are way off the floor. I mean, he is just trying to spice it off of his hips. Not ideal. Definitely not ideal. But look at how high this bar goes. Damn. I don't understand it either, man. Just wear weightlifting shoes. Like, it'll help your squat position for sure. Look at that right knee. It's caved in horribly. You know, if you add in a little bit more dorsiflexion and stability with weightlifting shoes, you know. I have seen Travis Mayer lift before, and he's not the most technical lifter. He just grips and rips. All right, so yeah, look at his contact position, but it's straight up and down, vertical as it gets. Ugh. You know, if you compare that to, like, Noah Olsen. Noah Olsen's really throwing his shoulders back behind the bar. Malheiros is just straight up and down.
We took another look at the Panchik family, enjoying what they're seeing from
Whoa.
Saxon. Alex Vino makes 280.
Oh! Damn. Please make this. You're my guy.
Missing behind is a good sign that you're capable of it.
No! That was an actual max attempt, though, for him, I think. And it just slipped behind him. Maybe if he just put a little bit more oomph into the extension, he would have gotten it, but good technique. BKG, Goudet, Fikowski, Malheiros. Those are my guys right now. Oh, man. Fikowski, let's watch this in slow-mo, because his hips are pretty low. You don't see this too often in CrossFit. You see a lot of guys who want to have high hips. They want to deadlift really hard. You know? Let's look at his feet at contact. Completely flat. Let's see him extend vertically. Beautiful. This is a good lift. Vellner passes through. Vellner is definitely a grip and ripper type of guy. Most CrossFitters are. Let's just see. Wow! CrossFitters just have grit, man. It's like, I've said this in other videos, but like, something, you know, weightlifters can learn. CrossFitters just don't give a shit, you know? Oh, I missed a max ever lift. I'm going to come right back and try and hit it. Obviously, you know, you have to be a little bit more calculated as a weightlifter sometimes, but I don't know, man. They got this toughness about them. Oh, man. That's a performance-enhancing drug, that mullet. That mullet is adding kilos to his total. That should not be legal. Houdet! Our boy! Look at that head position! This kid's a monster, man. Unreal.
103 heart rate.
Up.
Well, that'll do it.
Looks like he didn't extend enough, you know? Didn't change speeds enough, and I bet you he's going to correct it here. He has a 140 snatch, so yeah, a little bit more aggression, and he got it. Boom. Panchik.
Scott Panchik at 285.
Not enough there. I don't want to criticize too much on these max attempts, guys. You know, it's like I don't know what they're doing in training. Guimaleros, straight up and down. Everything's very vertical. A lifter who lifts like that is Yurik Vardanian. For those of you who don't know who Yurik Vardanian is, please just YouTube Yurik Vardanian right now. I would say that is a very similar pull. Our boy Fikowski. There's just one platform going now, which is really cool. Man. He's got the SBDs on. He's got the belt. He's got the wrist wraps. He's got the weightlifting shoes. My man's got all the gear on right now. Wow. Vellner just went so hard on that lift. That was huge. He went so hard. You know, actually, if we look at the leaderboard, weightlifting is important. You don't want to lose spots in this. All right, Justin Medeiros now with 285, which is like 130. Uh-oh. Shake the mullet a little bit. Shake it a little bit. Give me some magic.
And you don't need to overpull.
To stay alive here for Justin Medeiros.
Wow. I'm telling you guys, we need to do something about this. Someone get on the line. Get USADA, WADA, whatever CrossFit uses for their drug testing, and we gotta shave that thing off because it is an advantage, and it's not fair. This guy has edged out some lifts here.
Oh! Almost was able to stabilize that and stand it up.
Honestly, for him, it was his head position. He was looking at the floor when he caught that bar.
All right, the announcer, hold on.
I'm sorry.
The announcer just said, honestly, it was his head position. He was looking at the floor when he caught it. His head position is what's helping him. His head position is what's helping him make these lifts. Yeah, you know, it's a heavy barbell, and he pulled his head down a little bit too far, but god damn it, if he keeps it up, he's not even going to come close to making it. Announcer just said, keep your head up. Ah! That is a technical lifter right there. This guy is a technical lifter. This, Houdet, no one's talking about this guy, right? Everyone's talking about Maleros. But this guy lifts like a weightlifter, straight up. Yurik Vardanian pull right here. Look at this. Straight up and straight down. I mean, he's just a fan-fucking-tastic athlete. That's all there is to that. This guy's a tremendous athlete. I don't know what his ceiling would be if he was a weightlifter. Saxon Panchik, I don't think he's going to make this one. Look, super narrow grip. Super narrow. And he just kind of yanks this thing off the floor and he wants to go hard at the hips. Yank. Bring the hips to the bar. You know, shoulders are super far back. You know, I think it's a lot of times guys trying to get into their very strong positions. And it makes sense, right? Like, it got him this far. It got him up to a 290-pound barbell. It got him a 130-kilo snatch, which is just fantastic, obviously. But who knows? You know, if he had the technique of Houdet, like what he could manage. Brent Fikowski here. It's my guy. Oh, no, 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 no. So he's got 5, 4, okay. No, damn. Patrick Vellner. What? Oh my God. I am just shocked. I think, honestly, look at his, he's got great dorsiflexion. Bar is in the right spot. This just seems like a good day for Vellner. I pegged him as a grinder before, but the weight speaks for itself. Bar is at 300 pounds, 137 kilos. All right, so Royce Dunn, his PR is 140 kilos or 308 pounds. Right now he's got 137. Solid. Really solid. Something that he does, I've actually seen a decent amount of weightlifters do this. He actually has his gaze is like slightly down. And I actually don't mind that. And one thing too, guys, the best snatchers right now have their hips lower than the rest of the field. It doesn't have to be technically super low, but compared to the rest of the CrossFitters, it is low. And his gaze is slightly down. It's because you don't want to just pull your neck back and break your posture entirely off of the floor. You want to have some balance there. Solid lift. Now we go back to the Brazilian, Malheiros. Boa. Isso. I don't know, I just hear my Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu coaches say that all the time. I'm assuming that's what Brazilians say. All right, so just under 140 kilos on the bar here. 305 pounds. Seemed like couldn't change speed well enough. He really yanked it off the floor. Again, if you guys are going fast off the floor, you need to be able to go faster at the hip or faster when you pass the knee. You don't want to go fast and then slow down. Looks like he's not going to get it. All right. Camera ran out of battery, but it's okay. I'm going to use my phone. Let's go. Malheiros. I just wanted to say, this is badass as shit. Like it's a full stadium of people focused on one lifter. Like, you just don't see this sort of shit in weightlifting too often. And I don't know. It's just really awesome to watch. Like, from a weightlifting perspective, going to so many different meets, this is really cool to watch. CrossFit has their shit together, man. They really do. As far as the spectacle goes, this is the walk-off. This is the walk-off. Oh, easy. And he dabbed on him. And he dabbed on him. Oh my God. What is this, 2016? What are you, Cam Newton? All right, so let's just break down this dude's technique super quick. He's got a dynamic start. His hips are in a good position. Let's look at his contact right here. That actually might be in the hips. But guys, look at this extension. It's vertical as it gets. His shoulders are not back. And let's look at contact. His feet are flat. I mean, come on. This guy is a damn good lifter. Honestly, I would guess. So if this is his contact, it's kind of like he swoops into the higher thigh and then into the pelvis, into that crease. But I would venture to say if this guy switched over to weightlifting, like, I think he'd be snatching upwards of like 155 very, very soon. Very, very soon. It really wouldn't take much. All right, guys, I'm sorry for the technical difficulties. I'm just trying my best over here, But this was awesome. Watching CrossFit and being able to react and correct and all that stuff. I really like doing it. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I'll see you on the next one.